actually is water weight, and do carbs make you retain water? So we should all know at this point that not only is the earth mostly water, but so are we. On any given day, we're about 60% water, and water is of major importance to all living things. In some organisms, up to 90% of their body weight comes from water. To break it down a bit more, the brain and the heart are composed of 73% water, the lungs are about 83% water, the skin contains 64%, muscles and kidneys are 79%, and even something as solid as bone is a watery 31%. But when you hear the term water weight, when talking about in terms of dieting and fitness, what we're normally talking about is the water that is stored in the cells of the body. And water weight is generally seen as a bad thing by people who want to look as lean and shredded and as ripped as possible, #goals. But for folk like athletes, having some sort of water weight is actually a good thing, as it means that their glycogen stores are full and ready to help them power through a strenuous session. Bam, bam, boom. So, super high performance and long distance athletes, such as marathon runners, can often experience glycogen depletion, where almost all of their glycogen stores are depleted after long periods of exertion without replacing glycogen by eating carbs. And I forgot to mention, glycogen is the main storage form of glucose, which is stored in your liver as well in skeletal muscle cells for when it needs a quick energy source. It is a super immediate reserve source of available glucose for muscle cells. But when all of this is depleted when doing strenuous or serious endurance exercise, that's what we call hitting the wall, and this can be avoided by eating carbs during that kind of exercise. But carbs that have the highest possible rate of conversion to blood glucose, so things that have a high glycemic index. So glycogen is a very good thing to have for energy. And so more carbs mean more glycogen, because when you consume carbs, your body is storing them as energy in the form of glycogen. And for every 1 gram of glycogen stored, 2 to 3 grams of water is bound to the glycogen, meaning that there is approximately 2 to 3 grams of water retained. So the more glycogen stored means the more water stored, and considering that carbs supply our beautiful temples with glycogen, carbs also cause us to hold on to more water. This whole process explains why when people first go on diets or restrict their carb intake, #no carbs before marbs, they will see initial weight loss because water weight is lost with the loss of muscle glycogen. And this is why when someone starts a low carb diet, they appear to lose weight quickly, at least according to the scales, as they deplete their glycogen stores, which also results in them losing fluid as well. But the thing is that this is not actually weight loss, and it will rebound in a few days or weeks at most. And on top of all of this, there is more of a chance a processed carbohydrate may have higher sodium amounts as well, so something like chips may cause you to hold on to more water. And this is because sodium helps to regulate the levels of water in your body. And as a result, the total amount of salt you consume has an impact on whether you retain or eliminate water. As you eat more salt, your body holds on to more water, because if you have too much sodium in your system, your body retains water. But water retention can be caused by other things too, like eating too little protein, eating too little in general, a hormonal imbalance like too much cortisol due to stress, thyroid dysfunction, medications, being on your period, and hot weather. And how do you avoid this form of carbs? Well, it's been recommended that you eat no more than 2 grams of carbohydrate per kilogram of body weight every day. So say if you weigh 50 kilos, then you shouldn't be eating more than 100 grams of carbohydrates a day. You can work this out by looking at the nutrition labels on food. It normally says how many grams of carbs there are per 100 grams of whatever it is. Also, something I learned today is that some foods actually have different carb counts depending on whether the food is cooked or uncooked. And it can be a big old difference. And if this has whet your appetite for more knowledge about food and nutrition, you are in luck, matey, as Curiosity Stream has a whole bunch of shows based on food, and a particularly good one called Prescription Nutrition, where doctors, chefs, and nutritionists weigh in on how changes in diet can positively affect health and longevity. In the last few months, I've been really looking at what I eat, the kind of exercise I'm doing, and how I spend my time, and Curiosity Stream has helped a ton with all of that. You can head on over to curiositystream.com/science with Katie. On top of that, you also get a free subscription to Nebula for as long as you have a Curiosity Stream subscription, which is a platform built by some of your most favorite YouTubers with original content you can't see anywhere else. So go get both stat to get decent content to help us through these times. And that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, hit subscribe. A big thank you to my patrons on Patreon, and thank you for watching. Bye!